Բարև ձեզ։ Լուրերը հնարավորություն է ստացել զրուցելու ապագայի հայկականը նախաձեռնության համահիմնադիր Նուբար Աֆեյանի հետ։ Բարի երեկո, պարոն Աֆեյան. Thank you for your time and congratulations on modern successful campaign. Let's come to your initiative. How do you see the future of Armenia?
Բարի երեկո Սերբոլորին, ջադորախ եմ սեսետ այս զրույց ունենալուց, շարունակեմ անգլերենով. The Future Armenian project that we're talking about today is really a public initiative aiming at defining important objectives that can help take Armenia to a much better place in the future by being realistic about the current situation and also realistic about what might be the strengths of Armenia's nation, its reach around the world, its economy, its resources. We need to build a plan for the future that we can get all Armenians first engaged with and working towards. And that's the goal of the Future Armenian. We think that our future will either be written by us or it will be written by others for us. And we think that the first approach is a much better approach, but it's going to take work and it's going to take cooperation. It's going to take collective action, something that we've not had the ability to do previously. And we hope following the current situation, whether it's through the pandemic, the war, and the uncertainties we face, that the time has come for us to engage in dialogue and then in action towards building a future Armenian.
Where do you plan to start the initiative? And how long it's going to be realized?
The current Future Armenian initiative, which just launched, is in its core a way to collect folks who care about Armenia's future, to have a platform, to be able to engage, to exchange ideas, and to come up with a unified vision of where we must be headed. And that project has started, and it will intensify over the coming weeks and months, because we think it's really, really important to engage both Armenians in Armenia, in Artsakh, and in the diaspora in this common mission. If we each have our own vision of the future, and we each work towards that vision independent of each other, the chances of any of those visions of the future being reality is extremely low. But instead, if we can simply respect each other's views, listen to each other, learn and contribute, then we might have a stronger sense of what is achievable and then work to get there. So that's our plan. That's where we started. Now, it's important to understand that the 15 objectives that we have laid out, fashioned after the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, are largely aimed at inviting people to now think of projects that they're doing, whether it's humanitarian projects or projects aimed at improving government or improving diaspora or relations. All of those projects that many Armenians are undertaking can now fit into one or another of these 15 objectives, so that we can begin to see where do we not have any activity, we need to make some new ones, where can 5 different activities maybe cooperate to achieve a goal with less resources. These are all the things that will come out of this initiative, and we're hopeful it will create a step change in the way we go about building our future together.
Mr. Afeyan, there is a line in your 15 goals, Free Artsakh. How do you imagine the security of Artsakh in the future?
The security of Artsakh has been an important part of the national strategy of Armenia and therefore diaspora for many years, for 25 plus years. And we had a setback in the recent past, and the security of Artsakh is somewhat threatened. We have seen some developments with respect to Russia's intervening in helping provide that security, but we need to make sure that that security is offers us the guarantees of being able to be safe and be able to build on what has already been accomplished in Artsakh, to be able to provide a home for the people of Artsakh to be able to live freely and to be able to prosper. And right now the conditions are too uncertain, too threatening for that to happen, and we need to do a lot of work in that direction. And because I think that that's an important part of the security and stability of Armenia as a whole, and therefore Armenians all around the world.
Who has already joined the initiative, and who do you plan to add in this list?
The people that are joining the initiative are joining because they agree both with the need for a shared set of objectives that they can participate in. I should say to your audience that these 15 objectives were not somehow, this was not, Moses going to the mountain and bringing down 10 commandments as we learn in the Old Testament of the Bible. These were discussed by a group of core team members and invited input from hundreds of others all over the world, including many, most in Armenia, but also from Russia and the US and Europe, etc., Middle East. And we took people's inputs as a starting point. We put forward these 15 objectives, but now we have invited many others to join by becoming signatories. I ask each and every person listening today to go to the website, Future Armenian. It is in 3 languages right now, and really read the content, think about whether it represents many, if not most, of the ideas that you would be supporting, and sign on. And sign on by being an active participant. We will be conducting many discussions, open forums, and starting to bring together like-minded people who want to work together. We look forward to having a government as well as the civil society actively engaged in this activity. Look, the job of securing a brighter future for Armenia and Armenians is really something we should all do on behalf of our children. This is not something that we're doing to solve our immediate problems, although we have many immediate problems. We also need to think about what kind of country are we going to hand over, and what kind of future are we going to hand over to the next generation or two. And unless we make sacrifices today, like our parents and our grandparents made, whether they wanted to or not, sacrificing for us to have a better life, we need to be prepared to do the same thing. So the people joining are those people. They can come from anywhere in the world. They're Armenians, they're non-Armenians. They are people who simply believe that the future of Armenia is something that takes work, and that we are collectively responsible to do that work.
Are you optimistic about the initiative?
Optimism and pessimism are luxuries. I'm realistic about the need for the initiative. I'm realistic that people who take the time to think about it will see that we don't have this kind of national dialogue. Look, any government putting forward its own plans without the input of and cooperation from the rest of the nation isn't going to necessarily achieve its objectives. So what we think is that there needs to be national dialogue, there needs to be a set of clear points that we can agree on, and then those need to become the key strategic frames within which the government operates, diasporan organizations operate, our partnerships are structured with other countries, other financial institutions. These all have to fit into a general direction. And so, yes, I have great expectations that this type of dialogue can help reach our goal of not only a safe and secure Armenia and Armenian future, but also one that re-achieves our standing in the world. We have historically been a small country, but a large contributor to the world. And we can recover that position if we're willing to make sacrifices and work in a collective way. Something that has been difficult for us to do certainly in the last 100 years, as we've become spread all around the world, weakened because of the genocide, and ever since then have continued to have more that divides us and more that causes us to disagree than things that we agree on. Let me say one last thing. We are proud of our past and we agree on our past.
Absolutely.
We need to become proud of our future and agree on our future, because our past we cannot change. Our future we can change. And unless we agree on our future, we're not going to build a better future.
Good luck on your initiative and thank you again.
Thank you.